Hello, my name is Hakon, and welcome back to another episode of Fighting Fantasy Fun, where I'm playing Scorpion Swamp for the second time. As you will remember if you've seen my previous episode, my first venture into the swamp was a very short one. I found my way to this town near the swamp, and I were on a mission for the good wizard, Selentor, and to find a flower, the name of which eludes me for the moment. I went into the swamp. I went into 3 clearings, and in the third one, I talked to an evil man, and talking wasn't the right thing to do, would you believe? And I died. I got bitten by a spider and spun into silk, and I got hung up a tree, ready to be eaten later. So, today I hope to do better as we play Scorpion Swamp for the second time. Da-da-da-da-da. Right, so here we are. Got my supplies ready, got my book, got my character sheet, got my pens and my dice and the map from last time. A very small map as you see, so still a bit of way to go in this one. Right, just to make sure I got my cameras rolling, got my sound rolling, right. And suddenly it got a lot brighter here, so I think I'll have to reduce the aperture of my blinds a bit. Let's see if we do maybe the other way around. Like so. Okay, that's much better. Let's see, maybe increase. Suddenly the sun came on my window here. Let's see, that is on auto, that's fine. Okay. Right, so first of all, we've got our skill, stamina, and luck. So, skill, a little bit better than last time at 11. I can work with that. Stamina, I'm just keeping what I've got now because it is still the first few times I'm playing. I don't know how important these abilities will be. Well, that's pretty good. Spells, something you can pick up along the way as well. There are no provisions in this one. There is no potion of stamina, skill, or luck. Instead, there is a system of magic spells where you are a fighter, you're a non-magic user, but you may get gems from wizards, and the gems will contain spells for a single use. So those are the spells that will be listed on my character sheet. So let's get started. And mapping this one is going to be a bit of a nightmare because it actually is meant to be mapped because you can go back and forth. But mapping it the way I usually do makes it rather messy. So we'll just see how that goes. Right. Hardy adventurer that you are, you have never been known to quail at a little danger. But you're no fool. You've always been far too wise to venture into Scorpion Swamp. All your life you've heard tales of that awful marsh and its disgusting denizens. But the real danger of the swamp, so the tales go, is not the creature that inhabit it, nor even the magicians and wicked men who haunt its paths. No, the reason that so few return from Scorpion Swamp is very simple. The swamp is crisscrossed by numerous trails that twist and turn in all directions. No one has ever mapped them and lived to tell the tale. An evil fog hides the skies and no one can set a course by the stars. Once you're well into the swamp, even compasses are unreliable. They may point north, west, or south by southeast, leading you around in circles until you drop from exhaustion. So you've stayed well away from the swamplands, but although you don't know it yet, something is about to happen to change your fortunes. As you walk along the King's Highway, you come upon an old woman, crumpled in the dust. You carry her into the shade and give her a drink from your water skin. She soon revives, but you walk with her to the next town just to make sure that she will be all right. You take a leave of her in the town marketplace. Oh, excuse me. Bless you for your kindness, she says, when you part. Wear this with my good wishes, and may you never lose your way. With that, she gives you a plain-looking brass ring. When you slip it on your finger, smiling your thanks, it feels loose. An hour later, as you walk down the highway again, you realize that it has altered its shape to fit you perfectly. You have a magic ring. As you travel, you learn more about the brass ring's powers. The old woman must have been a powerful witch, and she meant her blessing seriously. While you are wearing the brass ring, you will always know which way is north, even in the deepest forest or in the twistiest town street. You will never be lost. Furthermore, the brass ring grows warm on your finger in the presence of evil, even when you are greeted in a friendly fashion. You spend a week with the forest bandits, rough men but honest in their way, and the ring is cool. But in the caverns it warns you of evil magic and of foul undead, and in the towns you find that no clever thief or lying merchant can fool you. The old woman's gift is valuable indeed to an adventurer like you. Now you feel as though you ought to put the brass ring to some use worthy of its magic. Exploring Scorpion Swamp with its unmapped maze of trails might be the perfect task, and it might be profitable too, so with your mind set on glory and treasure, you set off towards the bogs and fens of Scorpion Swamp. Now turn over. The path that you must travel is a long one, for Scorpion Swamp lies to the far west of the kingdom. As you travel, you have many experiences that a less seasoned traveler would call adventures. To you, fighting orcs and goblins, defying evil wizards and slaying giant wolves are all in a day's work. As you travel farther west, the mountains around you turn to hills, the hills to plains, and the plains to damp lowlands. You know that Scorpion Swamp cannot be far away. When you enter the little town of Fenmarge, no one finds you remarkable. Many travellers pass through here. Your sturdy helmet and sharp sword indicate you are a fighter not to be trifled with, but this is not uncommon. But when, sitting in the local tavern, you announce your plan to explore the swamp, the listeners are dumbfounded. They cluster around you, pushing back the battered benches to make room. The swamp, they tell you, holds the bones of many such as you. Not only is it trackless and infested with vermin monsters and starving bandits, but a group of wizards calling themselves the Masters have recently claimed Scorpion Swamp for their own. One of them, a big burly man escorted by 2 great grey wolves, visited this very tavern last week. He didn't say much, they tell you, but he didn't seem the sort to welcome trespassers on his property. Not his property, really, is it, though? As the conversation continues, you realize that the villagers are sure you will die in the swamp. We can't let you go, they say. One even makes so bold as to put his calloused hand on your shoulder to restrain you as you start to walk out the door. Will you challenge them for their impertinence, or politely explain that you are determined? I'm going to politely explain I'm determined. Which I did last time, that seems okay. The villagers shake their heads as you turn towards the door, but make no further attempts to dissuade you. But, before you reach the door, a villager blocks your path. He's a short, middle-aged fellow with a black beard cut square across the bottom. At first you take him for a farmer, but he seems more interested in you than any farmer should be. Takes your arm and leads you to a table in the corner of the tavern. The others have gone back to their chatting, and you find yourself willing to hear what this quiet man will say to you. He introduces himself as Gronar. If you really intend to brave the terrors of the swamp, he says you ought to have some purpose, rather than random mapping and beast slaying. If you agree with him, turn to 240. I do agree with that. You agree with Gronar. Your journey would be much more interesting if you had a mission to accomplish as well. He nods. There are 3 men in this village now, he tells you, who cannot go into the swamp themselves, but each one has need of a strong fighter willing to venture there. The first of the 3 is an old wizard devoted to the cause of good. He stops to quaff a long draught from his mug. If you want to hear him out, turn to 205. If you want to interrupt him to say that you will serve only good, turn to 155. Well, I know about the other ones now. I'll just interrupt him and see what happens. So I'm going to 155. Oh, I know what happens because that is the... Oh, actually I mapped it the wrong way now. So this is okay, so I'll put 205 there and 155. So just map this, used the wrong numbers here earlier. So that is here out, interrupt. You sound sincere. Grona nods and smiles broadly. There are those in the world, he says, who seem rough or simple but always fight for the right. The good Celator is one. And you, Paladin, are another, though you may have much to learn. Somehow, Grona seems to be much larger now. Is that a cross embroidered on his robes? And where did that sword come from? You start to speak, to ask him who he is, but he reaches across the table and touches your brow. You feel dizzy. Bless you, young Paladin. Seek ye Celator. Then he is gone. You could not tell whether he walked out of the door or simply vanished, but the dizziness passes quickly, and you feel very good indeed. Raise your initial luck score by 2. That's quite remarkable, and my luck is 14, which is quite unusual. Okay, so luck plus 2 turn to 335. So that is the... Okay. And that is very interesting. So actually, if you insist that you're good, you actually get more luck. That is pretty useful. I suppose some bits of the swamp might be easier to get through with evil magic, but if you want to be good, I suppose. Okay. Ducking under a heavy cast iron lantern, you leave the tavern. The light is unexpectedly bright outside, and you blink for a moment in the glare. You start off down the road, but realize you don't know where you are going. Hailing an old man who is leaning out of the window of his shop, you ask where you might find the good wizard Celator. The shopkeeper is suspicious at first, but soon warms to you and gives you directions. Soon you are lost again, but a ruddy-cheeked woman sets you right. It seems that everyone knows where Celator lives. Eventually you come to a small house on the edge of the village. Celator, a small, stout man in a white tunic and linen breeches, is pottering in his garden as you come up the path. You tell your story. He smiles and asks how you think you can get through the uncharted swamp. If you tell him about your ring, turn to 371. If you'd rather keep it a secret, turn to 96. And last time I decided this is a good wizard, so telling him about the ring is going to be perfectly fine. So I'm going to tell him about the ring. He nods. Yes, you are the one I have been waiting for. You can do what must be done. He smiles at you and you feel very proud indeed. I will tell you about the quest. Once upon a time there grew a plant called Antherica. It had many healing properties and was of great value to the makers of white magic. But it was of no value in evil spells, and so the forces of evil set out to destroy the plant everywhere. It was thought that they had succeeded, but through my studies and my crystal ball I have learned that a single plant of Antherica survives deep in Scorpion Swamp. It is a small dark green bush with sweet-smelling white flowers and purple berries. If you can bring me back just one of those berries, through my magic I can cause the Antherica to bloom again for white magicians everywhere. There is plenty of treasure to be found in the swamp, the little wizard goes on, and you may keep all you win. All I need is a single berry of Antherica. But, although a fighter like you is well fitted to survive in the swamp, there are magic forces there against which a sword is of little use. I cannot teach you magic, but I can do the next best thing. I can give you 6 magic gems. Each of these will contain 1 magic spell, but when you have used them all, you must rely on your keen sword and your sharp wits. You discuss with Celator which spells you should choose. You may pick 6 spells from the magic spells listed in the front of the book, but only from the lists of neutral and good spells. You may not pick any evil spells. Right, so I'm going to pick my spells again. I'll probably go with the same as last time because I don't know which ones will be useful yet. So last time I had stamina times 2, had a friendship spell. Bless. Growth. And ice. Times 1, times 1, times 1, and times 1. Okay. So stamina, which restores not full stamina, but half stamina. Friendship, bless, which helps someone else restore a bit of health. Growth, and ice, which freezes water into ice, really. Okay. Turn to 9 and begin. Okay, with the spell gems tucked safely in your pouch, you say farewell to Celator and strike off towards the swamp. Although your trip will be dangerous, you are buoyed up by the old wizard's wisdom and kindness. Your quest is this. Find an Antherica berry and bring it back to Celator. Turn to 9 and begin your adventure. Right, paragraph 9, which is the beginning of the swamp, really. You are on the southern edge of Scorpion Swamp. Thanks to the brass ring, you will always know which way is north, but you must still make a map. You decide to map each path you follow and each clearing you enter, so that you will know which way to go if you return to a clearing. You quickly find a path leading north into the swamp. A huge sign crudely painted on a boulder reads, "Stop Scorpion Swamp, turn back." A skull and crossbones completes the grisly picture. Bravely you stride past the warning and enter the swamp. You can see that it would be foolish to step off the path into the muck, so you follow the trail where it leads. Turn to 195. You are in clearing 1. Actually, this is no more than the wide spot where 3 trails meet. The ground is very shaky and wet, and huge insects flit over the pools of water that dot the ground. If you want to step carefully across to another trail, turn to 58. If you'd rather just jump over the soft parts, turn to 91. This time I'm going to try jumping, see what happens. Roll 2 dice. If the result is equal to or less than your stamina, you made the jump. So it's a test of stamina. So otherwise you fell otherwise you fell short, caught your leg in the mire, and twisted your arm slightly when you landed. Subtract 1 point from your skill. Okay, that's a bit dangerous to do if your stamina is low. You shouldn't be doing that. So test stamina. Fail is -1 skill. Okay. West is south. So basically south then, which is going back to the town, I suppose. I'll just check that now because I got a bit confused when I was here. I thought south was into the swamp, but actually that is. So I was mapping now as if it was that this was going southwards, but of course I misread. I didn't read properly the previous paragraph, so this is actually south and this is going north. So this should be on that side, that should be on that side. This is going to confuse my map even more, I think, but yeah, I'll be okay. I'll just ignore the directions and just map in whatever way is yeah, there's room for. Right. So 208 basically is not going this way, it is going, let's see, jump. So we have, let's put that down here. So that's 208. It's going south, going back to the town. I'll just put that down there now, even though I'm not doing it, I'm just sort of 159 go back, so town. So that's where you go back to the town after you've finished your quest. And my quest, of course, to find the Antherica berry is my quest. So, right, last time I went east, which is now, unfortunately, on the western side of my map. So, and I know there's a spider guy down here. And But I think I'll sort of start doing the same area that I did last time because there's so much left to explore there. So I'm going to go east again to 105. Because I want to be a bit exhaustive now. I think because part of the fun here is actually to explore what's going on everywhere. Ahead of you is the clearing. Unlike the last one you found, the ground seems to be solid. This is clearing 12, so I've been here. If you've been here before, of course only in the same game, go to 330. If you've not been here before, keep reading. You see several large flat stones, a huge hollow tree and 2 other paths leading out. Will you sit down and rest on a stone? Investigate the hollow tree. Excuse me, leave the clearing immediately. I'm going to investigate the tree this time. Again, warily you step over to the tree. Before you reach it, a rank odor warns you that it is the den of some large animal. You step backwards as an enormous bear pokes his shaggy head out of the hollow tree. If you run away, turn to 390, and if you do that, of course, the bear would run after you, because that's how bears behave. If you want to fight the bear, turn to 200. So basically, it should have been a third option, play dead, which is when the bear will ignore you. But I'm going to fight the bear this time. You have killed many beasts and monsters. A bear doesn't frighten you. You shout a taunt at it and raise your sword. Bear. So we have here. Where am I? Yes, so bear 7, 8. Bear. If the bear starts to get the better of you, you can escape and run for any of the pathways. Turn to 390. So there is an escape possible. So that is the escape. And 69 is the win. So I'm thinking maybe there is something else inside the tree besides the bear. So I want to find out. So first battle of the day. And this is within shot there. Yeah, okay, so my stamina skill is 11, stamina is only 16. And his skill is 7 and stamina is 8. My stamina is very low. Anyway, right, so battles, just quickly go through that as usual. You and your opponent both have a skill and a stamina score. When you go into battle, you roll 2 dice. You add it to your opponent's skill score, first of all. So he rolls 6 and add it to 7, so that's 13. I got 11 and I add 2, so that's also 13. And when both numbers are equal, that means there's a draw. You've been parrying each other's attacks. Nobody gets injured. Otherwise, whoever has the lowest score gets injured and loses 2 stamina points. I like calling it hit points because that's the terminology from Dungeons and Dragons, and for some reason that just appeals to me more than any other such term. I think it's because stamina can mean something else, health can mean something else, life points is a bit long-winded. Hit points, it's very nice, short. It only means one thing, really. Although when you think about the words, it sounds a bit ambiguous. But so I won the first. No, nobody won the first round. I'm rolling again. He rolls 11. I roll 5. So he gets the first hit, and I'm down to 14 stamina. So what I usually do in battles, I think how much advantage do I have? So I got 4-point advantage. So when he rolls 5 now, that means I need to roll 1 or more, which is easy. So I roll a 5 and he is then down to 6. So 6, I roll a 6, he's down to 4 hit points. He rolls a 10, I roll a 10, so he's down to 2. He rolls an 8, I roll a 6, so he is dead. And I can go to 69. 69, there we are. Looks like a 64 there. You have slain the bear. You search its den, but you find nothing of value. Okay, so there's nothing there. So that basically means it's not really worth doing then. So then I put a red mark there, just to indicate that there's no point doing that. Or sometimes because it's just dangerous doing that. So 390. You have a choice of 3 paths. They all seem rather swampy and hazardous. So, will you go north, east, or west? So, maybe I should go north again and see if I can sort out the spider guy. I think I'll do that. Get my revenge from last time. It might kill me again, though. You notice that your path is crisscrossed by spider webs. There is a clearing ahead. Even before you enter it, you can see that the surrounding trees are thickly festooned with webs, and that there are many spiders there. You are in clearing 17. If you've been here before, turn to 345. If you have not been here before, keep reading. In the center of the clearing there is a Sanchez Pavilion, which seems to float above the marshy ground. It is silver grey and it shimmers like woven spider silk. Well, probably because it is woven spider silk. Seated in the pavilion is a tall man. His thick beard and eyebrows are white, and his robe is as silver grey as his tent. Around his neck hangs a gleaming silver spider amulet, which sounds like good loot to me. They know that you are in the presence of the master of spiders. As he regards you from his burning green eyes, you feel your brass ring warning you of evil. Will you cast a magic spell? Can't really think of any that would work, though. Attack immediately or talk to him in a friendly fashion. So talking in a friendly fashion does not work. I will just attack. 26. You sense that the master of spiders is wholly and foully evil, and you attack him with your sword. He counterattacks with a gleaming wand. You see its tip is sharply pointed and smeared with a foul greenish substance. Each time the wand strikes you, it does 1 extra point of damage to your stamina score. Okay. So, we have 9, 6, and a little asterisk that indicate there are special rules. So, let's see, I was almost skipped to the next bit there. Okay, so I'm at 11:14. My stamina is going to kill me, I think, at some point here. And he's 9, 6. But I mustn't forget I can use luck in battle, of course, now that I have so much of it. Right. So I've got a 2 skill point advantage. I need to roll 2. He needs to roll 2 better than me to get anything done. So he rolls a 4. I will roll a 6, and maybe I should use luck to do extra damage to him. Maybe. Yeah, I think I'll do that actually. So how you usually do that when you use luck in battles is you can either roll against luck to do 2 extra damage to your opponent, or you can roll against luck to have 1 less damage done to yourself. If you fail, instead of doing 2 damage to your opponent, you do only 1. So if you succeed, you do 4. If you don't use luck, you get 2 damage. If you fail your luck roll, you do 1 damage. And likewise, if you try to reduce damage to yourself, if you succeed with your luck roll, you do get 1 damage. If you don't use luck, you get 2 damage. And if you fail your luck roll, you get 3 damage, or 1 extra. My luck is 14, so no point in rolling really, but I'll just do it just because I like doing it. So, and every time you use luck, either in battles or testing your luck, you go down 1 point. So I'm down to 13. And he takes 2 extra damage. It's got 2. So I only need to hit him 1 more time. So he rolls 11. So I really need to roll 9 or better. I roll 10. So he is dead. Okay. And I go to 354. Withdrawing your sword from the body of your evil foe, you sigh with relief, but all around you the spiders are lurking. They start drawing closer and closer. You bend down and take the spider amulet from the body. When you pull it free, a spark seems to jump from it. Suddenly the body bursts into flames. You leave hurriedly. Behind you the flames are spreading, and you hope they will wipe out the evil spiders as well. I'm thinking if using a spell here, I think a spell of fire is probably the one I would have gone for. But if I'd had a spell of fire, I might have tried it. So turn to 165. So I got the spider amulet. So spider amulet. And let's see. So spider amulet, 165. I'll just put that down there, and I'll do something fancy with the lines to move it back up. Okay, so there are only 2 exits from this clearing. If you go north, turn to 388. If you go south, turn to 105. So 105, that's the one over here. So this one can bring you over to 105. Or you can go north, which is the other direction. I'm going to move that up here now. Maybe up. Oh, there's going to be so little room here now. Okay, so I'm going to go there, I think. And 388. So, okay, so I've been down here before. So I'm going to go north this time. After a short walk, you enter a pleasant grassy clearing. You see 2 other exits. This is clearing 24. See 24. Just mark that on the map like so. If you've been here before, turn to 263. Okay, so I got the before listing there. 263 and a B for before. If you've not been here before, keep reading. You stand still for a moment, looking around you. Then you realize that there is something strange about the grass. It is growing up around you so fast you can see the movements. Well, at least watching grass grow is a more exciting experience than usual then. As you watch, you see nippers form at the end of the stalks. They snap at you. You are in the middle of a patch of crabgrass. If you attack it with your sword, turn to 134. If you want to use magic, turn to 167. I suppose, again, maybe fire would work, or plant... I wouldn't want to use plant growth on these because they would become big and nasty, but... So we have 167 magic, or 134 sword. You hack at the crabgrass with your sword. The nippers are easy to cut down, but more keep growing up around you. Fight the hungry lawn as though it was a single opponent. So we have okay, 60. Okay. So I'm at 1114, and this got 6 skill, 16 stamina, just to as an indication of how much there is of the grass. If you escape, turn to 187, so you can escape. Let's put the escape up there. Escape 187, or win 81. Win. Okay. So I've got a 5-point advantage on my skill now, which isn't too bad. So let's see how that goes. So the grass rolls a 5. I rolled a 9. It's down to 14. Grass rolls 8. I roll 5. It's down to 12. Grass rolls 10. I roll 8. It's down to 10. 6. And I roll 10. Grass has 8 hit points left. 7, 11, 6 left. 6, 8, 4 left. 6, 2. That's still me hitting the grass. And finally 4 and 4, and the grass is dead, I suppose. The weed has been weeded out. Right. So I won and I go to 81. You have destroyed the crabgrass. You have no doubt that it is dead. Obviously, you don't know much about gardening then, because that's not how it works with weeds. You search the clearing. On the tree you find some scorched lettering. Beware of orcs. Yeah, well, stating the obvious, I guess. That is all. You leave. Turn to 187. Okay, so that's the same as the escape route there. Okay, so that is 187. There are 3 exits from the clearing. Well, you go south, turn to 144, east 290, or west 10. So we have west, east 290, or south 144, which is that one there. Okay, so we have okay, maybe I should go west and see what happens there. The knotted trees give way before you and you enter another clearing. This is clearing 5. If you've been here before, turn to 142. Okay, so 142. You realize immediately that there has been a battle here. The ground is torn up, blood is splashed over the dank swamp grass, and you can see 2 arrows sticking in a tree not far away. If you examine the clearing to see what you can find, turn to 59. Decide to leave as quickly as possible, turn to 227. So 227, leave, or 59, examine. Right, so I'm going to have a look and see if I can find something. Right. You decide to look around the clearing. Perhaps there is someone who needs your help or something that can help you. Almost immediately you stumble over the body of a swamp orc. Quickly you search the loathsome carcass, but you find nothing of value. Then you see a wounded man leaning against a tree. You hasten to help him, but when you reach his side you find that he is already dead. 3 arrows have pierced his chest. 2 more orcs lie at his feet. They paid dearly for his life. You see no packs or weapons. The surviving orcs must have looted the scene before leaving. You decide to give the fallen fighter what burial you can. As you do so, you see a golden pendant shaped like a small magnet hanging round his neck. You may leave it or add it to your possessions. So I've got a magnet pendant. Golden. Okay. And then I turn to 227. Okay, so 227. There are 3 paths leading out of the clearing. The one that leads east is somewhat narrower and darker than the others. Where do you go? North, east, or west again. So I can go north. So that's 66. Go east, which is 388. Just use red so it's easy to see the arrow there. Or west again, which is Now I'll go west again. Try to be a bit organized in my mapping now. The path dips slightly downwards and leads into a grassy clearing. This is clearing 29. If you've been here before, turn to 265. 265B. If you've not been here before, keep on reading. In the middle of the clearing lies a white creature. At first you think it is a horse, but when it turns to face you, you realize that it is a unicorn. It appears to be wounded. Great claw marks score its flank, but it gets to its feet and lowers its horn at you, snorting a challenge. Will you run away, fight it, or cast a spell? Okay. I think it's quite possible that before next time I play this, I'll need to tidy up my map before starting even. So we have 221 fight. You don't fight a unicorn. Unicorns are good creatures, aren't they? 368 run or 119 spell. So I'm going to cast a spell on this one. Which spell will you cast on the unicorn? Friendship, fear, bless, or fire? So we have no room left up here for these 4 spells. So 39 friendship, 293 fear, 381 bless, or 337 fire. Well, I'm going to use a bless spell on it because it's injured, and bless will give it some health back. None of these actually as well. Let's see, 320. Okay. So I'm going to do bless and go to 381. You do not want to attack the injured unicorn. You have always heard that they are good creatures. You cast a bless spell instead. The creature quivers as the spell strikes it. Then it whinnies joyfully. The wounds along its side are almost healed, and the unicorn is much stronger. It's still reluctant to approach a human, but it walks over to the side of the clearing and digs at the ground with its horn. Then it looks at you and walks away. You look at the ground where it had been digging. There are 2 magic gems there, like the one Sadator gave you. You recognize one as a friendship spell and one as a spell to restore luck. Okay, so we have now 2 friendship spells and 1 restore luck as well. You're certain the unicorn can understand you as you thank it and go on your way. Down to 348. So, bless gave me, let's see, that gives me spell, friend, and luck. And we go to 348. Okay. There are 4 exits. Would you go north, south, east, or west? So, south, 157. Haven't been there before. East, 10. So that is, let's see. That's going back there. Oops, sorry, that's the arrow in the wrong direction. Arrow goes down there. That's east. South, 157. Okay. $157. South, south. Probably do the directions on the arrows. West, which means I don't have any space at all this way. I'll just have to do that here as well. south. Okay. Well, I've got to continue west because I've been doing that all the time now, so I might as well just continue in the same direction until I can't go any further. The path becomes wider by degrees, and you see flowers growing here and there. This is clearing 23. Okay. 23. The clearing numbers aren't that important if you know the paragraph numbers, I guess. If you've been here before, 250, so it's a B, 250, no room for that. But you feel the hairs on the back of your neck begin to stand up. Something is wrong. Your brass ring is warning you of evil. You look around and see nothing but the pretty flowers growing thickly along the path. Then you remember the old stories of the fear flowers. You know that the flowers themselves are frightening you. Their pollen induces terror. You are shaking now. Lose 1 skill point. Down to 10. Try to run past the flowers. Attack them with your sword. That will just loosen more pollen, though, wouldn't it? So that sounds like a really stupid idea. So 3 options. I'll just do like that. So I think I need to do this map in a different... I think I need to maybe use 2 maps here. So 1 for the clearings and 1 for the... I don't know. I'll figure out something. So 269. Run. 32. Attack. Or 80 spell. I don't think I have a spell that will work now because it really would be fire, wouldn't it? So I'm going to run past. Go to 269. The fear intensifies as you run away from the fear flowers. Lose another skill point. Oof. So let's see, just write that down here. So skill -1 and run skill -1. When you are past the bulk of the flowers, the fear subsides a little. Turn to 367. There are 2 exits from the clearing. If you want to go north, turn to 304. If you want to go east, turn to 265. So I suppose it's time to go north, maybe. Maybe I should go east and check out some of the other paths that I haven't checked out yet here. So we have north 304, east 265, which is over there. Okay, so we have so I'm going to go east 265. This is the glade where you met the unicorn, but there is nothing here now. Turn to 348. So that is over there. There are 4 exits when you go north, south, east, or west. So this is the same paragraph I was at earlier. And I could go a different way now, which is south. Haven't I been south before? No, I haven't, because I came from the east first. So I've not been south before. I'm going to go south, 157. The path narrows menacingly. You wonder for a second if you have reached a dead end. Then it becomes wider again. You step into a very small clearing, clearing 18. And before is 279 B. You see several unusual trees around you. They are dark green and rather small, with snaky limbs. Suddenly realize that each limb ends in a sword, and they are moving. You are being attacked by the dreaded sword trees. They're all around you now. If you want to fight them with your own sword, turn to 28. If you want to try a magic spell, turn to 203. So these are the sword trees here. Very nice picture. I'm thinking that, again, fire would have been ideal here. So I'm going to go to 28 and attack them, I guess, because I don't think I have the right spell for this. Friendship, I don't think this is something that will engross, definitely no. So I'm going to just attack them, I guess. So we have 28 attack or 203 spell. Okay. So 28 attack. There are several sword trees, but you may fight them as a single opponent. You are lucky in that they cannot see you. They attack by sound. However, there are several trees, each with many bladed branches. Okay, so I've got 11, 14, and they've got 9, 12, so they're actually quite strong now, but I do have a bit of luck to go on if I need to. No chance of escape here. So I've got a 2-point skill advantage. So they roll a 7, I roll a 7. So they're down to 10. They roll 8, I roll a 7. They are down to 8 hit points. Sorry. They roll 7, I roll 5. That's a draw. They roll 9, I roll 6. That is me down to 12. I roll 8, I roll 11. So they're down to 6. They roll 5, I roll 6. They have 4 hit points left. They roll 10, I roll 7, which is me down to 10. They roll 9, I roll 3. I'm down to 8. They roll 6, I roll 7. They are down to 2 hit points. And finally, not or not, they roll 11, I roll 9. That's a draw. They roll 5, I roll 9, and the trees are dead. So I defeat the trees. And I go to 362. You skillfully wield your mighty sword. The sword trees are no match for your prowess. Well, they work quite hard. And soon each reaching limb has been lopped off. You look around the clearing. You find nothing except a few seeds that look as though they might have come from the sword trees. So sword tree seed. So I'll get, so that's win seeds. You pocket them and go. Turn to 22. Even as you pocket the seeds, you see new growth stirring at the base of the trees. You leave quickly. Will you go north, south, or west? So south is, let's see, 90. Okay, so we have south, north 320, west 11. I came from the west, didn't I? Did I? No, hang on, I came from the... I went south, so west is a different one again. Okay, so... so I think my character here is his mapping skills aren't that good. Yeah, it's a complete mess. I mean, this is yeah, Anyway, I'm going to go west because I haven't been there before. So we have... As you walk west, the swamp becomes even grimmer. Just as you think that you can stand it no longer, the path begins to widen and you find yourself in a long, narrow opening. This is clearing 6. If you've been here before, turn to 210. Nope. If you have not been here before, keep reading. You look around and see no other paths. You appear to have come to a dead end. You walk towards a large grey boulder, hoping to rest on it for a minute. Suddenly the boulder moves. You are not looking at a grey stone at all, but coarse grey hair. Red eyes glare at you, and a dire beast with 6 clawed legs moves towards you. Will you fight it, run for your life, or try a magic spell? So we have... So 176 fight, 102 run, or 374 spell. Let's see what kind of spells I can use. I don't think I've got anything that will work though. A monster like this, you realize, is best fought with magic. Which spell will you try? Fear, illusion, growth, friendship, or none of these? Let's try friendship. So go to 160. It occurs to you that this creature would make a good ally, so you cast the friendship spell on it. Unfortunately, a dire beast has no friends. Its charge does not slacken, and you must fight it. So I use one of my friendship spells. I've also used my bless spell, mustn't forget. So, and here we have spell, and let's put down friend minus, meaning that does not work. And I fight it, so. You are facing a fearsome creature indeed. The dire beast has a tough hide and huge claws. It is also faster on its feet than you are. You cannot escape. You must battle to the finish. So, right. 9, 10. I probably should have used a stamina spell. Anyway. When can I use the stamina spells? Just check now. I presume that's when I'm not in combat. Yes. So stamina, skill, and luck, you can use it any time as long as you're not in combat. You may cast a spell on yourself just before a battle starts. Ah, okay, so I can use a stamina spell actually. So I'm using a stamina spell before I start and getting my stamina back to 16. That's quite useful actually. So then I've got a 2 skill point advantage. He rolls 6, I roll 9, he's got 8. He rolls 5, I roll 7, he's got 6. He rolls 9, I roll 2, I'm down to 14. He rolls 6, I roll 7, he's down to 4 hit points. He rolls 8, I roll 4, I'm down to 12. He rolls 4, I roll 3, he's down to 2 hit points. And finally he rolls 4 and I roll 5 and he is dead. And I go to 125. 125. You have slain the dire beast. You cut off a few of its rock-like claws as mementos of your great battle. So I've got dire beast claws. Hopefully they'll be useful for something else. You search the clearing for other exits but find none, so you turn around and leave by the way you came, heading east, turn to 279. So I get claws, and I go to 279, which is up there. So that is going east, I suppose. Yeah, east. And I go to 279. To your dismay, the deadly sword trees have already grown back. If you want to fight with your sword, turn to 28. If you would prefer to use magic, turn to 203. Right, let's have a look at the magic spells that are on offer there, just to see. Oh, that's the other one. 203, sorry. Fire, Wither, Growth, or none. Okay. Just out of curiosity now, because I'm going to use a magic spell on the trees. I'm going to use Growth. I know they're going to become harder to fight, probably. I'm just curious to see exactly what happens. So I'm going to use my Growth spell now on the trees. I know that's completely silly, but I'll just have to find out. You cast a Growth spell on the trees. Maybe they will grow so tall that they will be unable to reach you. You soon realize your mistake. The trees grow more branches and continue their attack. Turn to 28 and fight, but double the stamina of the sword trees. Okay. So growth minus stamina times 2. Okay. So there are several sword trees, but you may fight them as a single opponent, and so they've got 9, 24, and I've got 11, 12. Let's see how this goes. Okay, so I've got 2 skill point advantage. They roll 8, I roll 8. 22, this will take a little while. They roll 4, I roll 7, 20. They roll 7, I roll 5, that's a draw. They roll 7, I roll 6, 18. They roll 10, I roll 11, 16. They roll 3, I roll 7, 14. They roll 6, I roll 6, 12. They roll 5, I roll 4, 10. They roll 9, I roll 11, 8. They roll 5, I roll 7, 6. They roll 4, I roll 9, 4. They roll 9, I roll 12. 2 hit points left of the trees. They roll 5 and I roll 6, and they are dead. And I didn't even get injured at all. Okay, 362. Find a few more seeds, I guess. Yeah. Go to 22. So, north, south, or west. Okay, so where have I been now? So, I am at 22. And I've been west. I'll go south. I'll go to 90. You have crossed several shallow streams, but now you are faced with a deeper one. This is clearing 34. So 34. You see movement in the water below, and you are not sure that you care to wade across. Well, you use the ice spell, use the wither spell, or wade across very carefully. So it's 370 ice, 254 wither. That's an evil spell. Or 44 wade. So I'll try to use the ice spell now. Let's see, identity growth. I'm gonna, because I had an ice spell. So go to 370. The ice spell creates a solid bridge which you can cross easily. You may travel north or south from here. If you go north, turn to 157. So we have 157 up there. If you go south, turn to 398. That's here. Okay, so we have a connection with another branch there. Okay, so I'm going to 398. You enter a medium-sized clearing containing a small house built of logs. You're in clearing 4. I've not been here before. Okay, so that's right. So 239. 239B. You hear the low growling of a dog, then you see that it is not a dog but a wolf. Watching you from beside the house, the door opens and a big burly man steps out. And of course, the only big burly man we've heard about is one of the wizards with the 2 wolves. Another wolf follows him. The man carries a sword and is dressed as a forester, but you know from the silver wolf amulet he wears that he is the master of wolves. Ah, so you've got master of spiders, master of wolves, okay. You hail him in a friendly fashion. He answers gruffly, ordering you away. Will you obey and leave, cast a spell, or attack him? I'll cast a spell. Okay, so let's see, we've got 1, 2, 3, 314, leave. Now these amulets of the Masters of the Forest, I'm thinking maybe that is one of the missions to get from one of the others, maybe from the evil one that you want to actually, he wants you to kill the master so he can take control of. Just guessing now. It just seems to make sense that that would be one of the things that the evil wizard in the town would want. Let's see. So leave 191 spell or 120 attack. So I'm going to check out what spells I can cast. So fear, friendship, curse, or fire. I'm going to try friendship to see if that works. You cast the friendship spell. Okay, so I'll just make a mark there. That actually works. 294. Well, it seems to work. So I've run out of friendship spells now. Oh, and I've only got 1 stamina spell. You cast the friendship spell on the Master of Wolves and wait anxiously. Will it work? Suddenly he starts to laugh. Come in, he ushers you into his home and the wolves stand aside. If you would like to launch a surprise attack, turn to 271. 271, surprise. 172. Talk. I'm going to talk to him. You talk for some time. The Master of Wolves advises you, take the easy way across the river. Don't look for traps where none exists. That's a typo. Don't look for traps where none exist. He also teaches you a word that you can pronounce when threatened by wolves, which will make them friendly. Okay. So I'm now a wolf whisperer. So wolf, I'll just call it a wolf whisperer. Finally, must leave. Turn to 314. Okay, so 314. Leave and let's see, hint. Put that. Okay. You have 2 choices. If you go north, turn to 90. If you go east, turn to 195. So east turns me back to the beginning here. And there's some bits I haven't been over here. Check those out. So I suppose the north, I know where that is. So let's see, so that is over here. And east is 195. So that's there. Okay, so that's east, north. So there's one bit I haven't been over there, which is... Okay, so if I go to 195, you're in clearing 1. Okay. Actually, this is no more than the wide spot. Hang on. It's 195. That's not there. That's down here, isn't it? So 195 is down there. Okay. Very good map, isn't it? It's clear as day, isn't it? I think this will make quite a nice artwork in the end. Right, where am I? This is the ground. Yeah, okay. So if you want to step carefully across, turn to 58. If you want to jump, my stamina is 12, which means I'm safe to jump. So I'm going to jump and go to 58. Oh, hang on, that's not what I'm doing. Jump is 91. So that's testing against stamina. If it's minus 12, so on 12 and better is an automatic success there. So I'm not going to need to roll that. I'll just roll it anyway, and I rolled a 9. And then I want to check out this direction over here. So I have to go east. So I go to 105. Ahead of you is a clearing, and like the last one you found, the ground seems to be solid. This is clearing 12, and I have been here before, so I'm going to 330. I'm skipping the rest of that bit there. You are in the clearing with the great hollow log. If you saw a creature here earlier, turn to 129. If you did not see what lived in the log, turn to 268. Well, I did see the bear, so I'm going to 129. So let's see. There's no room for anything here. Okay, so 129 or 268. Okay. Okay. 129. If you kill the bear, turn to 268. Okay. Okay. So 268. You see nothing in the clearing this time except for a few gnawed bones. You hurry on your way, turn to 390. Okay, so that's... I presume this means that if you come back here, the bear will show up and you have to run away from it again, possibly. So nothing alarming, really. You have a choice of 3 paths. They all seem rather swampy and hazardous. Well, this is the swamp after all, and it's a scorpion swamp, which means all paths are theoretically swampy and hazardous, almost by definition. So I'm going to east this time because I haven't been there before, according to my map, which is incredibly accurate and comprehensive. I think this is a kind of map, if you want to keep it to see, I mean, if I want to map it for myself, but I don't want anyone else to read my map, I think this map might actually work. So it's a secret map. Anyway, 209. You continue to walk eastward for some time. Ahead you see a clearing with a small pool. You're in clearing 25. And I've not been there before, so the before is 168B. You walk closer to investigate, And a great brown rubbery creature rears up from the pool and lashes at you with a tentacle. You jump backwards. The pool beast shambles after you. You see a beautiful violet jewel glinting in its forehead. So that's the this charming fellow here, which is also the one here. See, it's the same picture basically. Pretty much same artist, looks like. Some of the books you have a different artist for the interior as you do for the extractor. Who's the artist on this one? I'll just check now because it's Duncan Smith. Yeah. So both the cover and the presumably, yes, cover and illustrations, Duncan Smith. Because some of the books you have a different cover artist from the interior artist, and then of course you have something illustrated on the front, and if it's illustrated in the book it wouldn't quite be the same. Anyway, in this case it's the same, obviously. So, options. Run away, attack with your sword, or cast a magic spell. Now, what magic spell might work? I've only got Restore Luck. I've got Stamina. I've got... Did I not use my... I've used both my friendship ones, haven't I? Because I used one on the spider guy as well, didn't I? No, that was the first time I played. Okay, so I've got one friendship left. This doesn't look... It looks like friendship might only work on sort of humanoids, I think. I don't really have any magic that I think would work in this case. So we have options. 3, 9, 7, run. 34, spell. No, 82, attack. Or 34, spell. Okay, so I'm going to attack. Actually, let's look what the spells are available there. Wither, fire, fear. Yeah, okay, that's all right then. Fire, I'm not sure that would work. I mean, it looks like it's actually fireproof, this guy. Fear, no, not so sure. Wither, probably, but that's... I presume that's a kind of spell that actually gives... It reduces the strength of a creature. I didn't look at the evil spells, but I presume that's what it does. So I'm going to attack, and I'm going to 82. I mean, I really have to attack because it's the cover. The poster boy monster, isn't it? Only 8 skill. Okay. The jewel looks valuable, so you draw your sword and attack the beast. It strikes at you with its rubbery tentacles. So we have 8, 10. I've got 11, 12. I've got a 3 skill point advantage. Let's go. He rolls a 9. I roll a 7. He is down to 8. He rolls a 9. I roll a 9. He's down to 6. He rolls a 6. I roll an 11, and I'm down to 4. I'm doing decent rolling today. He rolls a 7. I roll a 7. 2. And finally, he rolls a 7, and I roll a 6. So he is dead. Not a scratch. So I can escape the 330, it says. So that is over here. 330 there. And that's escape. But I don't have to escape. I kill the beast and I go to 308. So that is 8, 10. And the victory is over there. And I go to 308. At last the pool beast is dead. You use your sword to cut the great violet jewel from its forehead. Then you leave the clearing. So nothing else about the jewel there. So violet, jewel. The only exit takes you back to the west, turn to 330. So that is this one here. Nothing. That means I'll sort of cover this area now. You are in the clearing with the great hollow log. If you saw a creature here earlier, turn to 129. I did. That's the bear again. If you killed the bear, turn to 268. Now let's see what happens if you hadn't killed the bear, by the way. Yeah, okay, so you must fight it, yeah, okay. If you didn't kill it, you have to fight it. So basically, if you have to pass through this clearing more than once, then you have to kill the bear. Anyway, so I killed it before and go to 268. You see nothing in the clearing this time except for a few gnawed bones. You hurry on your way, turn to 390. You have a choice of 3 paths. Okay, so here we are again, 390, so that is here. And I'm finished over here, really. Where can I go? That will be leading me to up here. Of course, I've done the spider, because there's still spiders there. I've done these bits. So is the easiest path now to go back. I'll just see what happens if we go to the spider bit again. So I'm going to go north and go to 144. It's a bit of a roundabout way, but yeah. So I've been here before and I go to 345. That's a spider clearing. As you approach the spot where you defeated the evil master of spiders, you begin to feel very hot. Entering the clearing, you see it is full of roaring flames. You cannot pass. So basically it starts burning whether you use a fire spell or not in that case. So lose 1 stamina point. Okay, so you can't pass thereafter, so that is actually blocked off now. So I have to go back where I came from. So if I've been there before, let's see, there we are. I have to go to 165. Do I have 165 here? There it's 160. Oh yeah, 165. Okay. So that leads to 165, and you lose stamina -1. So my stamina is down to 11. And I'm going to 165. So there are 2 exits from this clearing if you go north. Okay, so I have to go back where I came from, so that means I have to go south and go to 105. So that was a bit of a waste of time going past there. And of course that's the one with a bear, and I've done the usual thing. I've killed the bear, so I'm going to 268. 390 was the one. Sorry about all this. I hope you're keeping up with this, because I'm basically just going through that clearing number 12 again. So there's no point going. Okay, so I can't really go that direction anymore. I have to go the other way. So which means I'm going to go west, isn't it? I have to go west now. Only way I can go. So that's clearing 1 again. And I'll jump, even though actually now I've got 11 stamina, so I could fail this. So I'm rolling against stamina. I need to roll 11 or less. Yeah, that's great. Because if I fail that, I'll lose 1 skill point. I don't want to do that. Now, so that means I have to go east. No, sorry. I have to go west. This is why it's confusing with my mapping the other way around, just in that bit there now. Clearing 4. I've been here before. Go to 239. You're in the clearing of the Master of Wolves. The hut is locked tightly and there is no sign of anyone. Turn to 314. So you have 2 choices. If you go north, turn to 90. Okay, so we have or east 195. So I'll just move this one up here then. It is this one here or this one there. Okay. So 90 is the one I'm going to. You have crossed several shallow streams, but now you are faced with a deeper one. This is clearing 34. You see movement in the water below and you are not sure that you care to wade across. Of course, I wasted my ice spell going the wrong way down south here earlier, when obviously the best way to go about it is to do this bit and then go back over here, possibly. And then you go north here, unless you want to go this bit. I've actually covered everything down in the southern part of the swamp now. Which is quite impressive with my portable map. So I can't use the ice spell anymore. I don't have a wither spell, so I have to wade across this time. So now we'll see what happens when you wade across. You are not attacked as you wade across, but when you reach the other side, you are disgusted to find several large leeches on your legs, drinking your blood. Roll 2 dice and lose as many stamina points as shown on the lower of the two. Okay, that's not too bad then. Or is it? 5 stamina points. I'm down to 6. So time for another stamina spell. And that brings me back up to 14. So that's all I got left of stamina now for the rest of the game, unless I find something. So wade, and that is lose stamina. Let's see, 2d6 bracket 1d6. I'll understand what that means when I check the paragraph. Right. So you may go north, 157. Let's see, that's up there. So 157 north. Or you may go south again, 398, which is down there. Okay, so south. I'm going north, obviously, the only way to go now, because I've been everywhere else down south. Oh, it's the sword trees again. Oh, joy. Okay, so the path narrows menacingly. You wonder for a second if you have reached a dead end, then it becomes wider again. You step into a very small clearing. You are in clearing 18. If you've been here before, go to 279. I have. To your dismay, the deadly sword trees have already grown back. If you want to fight with your sword, turn to 28. I don't have any magic to use, so I'm going to have to fight them again with my sword, but I'm not going to give them extra strength this time. Well, that was interesting just to see what happened. So, again, for the third time, the sword trees, 9, 12, and I've got 11, 14 now. That's all I've got left. So I've got a 2 skill point advantage. They roll 7, I roll 7, they're down to 10. 7 versus 7 again. They're down to 8. They roll 7 again, and I rolled 7 again. That's a lot of 7s in a row, isn't it? Good thing I'm not playing cribbage. Is that what they call it, isn't it? You're not supposed to roll 7s, really. 53, no, 8 and 7. So that's me winning that round. And they roll a 6, and I roll an 8. They roll 2 and I roll 10, and they are gone again. 362. You skillfully wield your mighty sword. The sword trees are no match for your prowess, and soon each reaching limb has been lopped off. You look around the clearing. You find nothing except a few seeds that look as though they might come from the sword trees. You pocket them and go on, turn to 22. So. Actually, it sounds a bit silly to bring along the seeds of sword trees, because you might accidentally plant them somewhere if they drop out of your pocket, and then you suddenly have to fight the sword trees, I would have thought. Anyway. Even as you pocket the seeds, you see new growth stirring at the base of the trees. You leave quickly. Where do you go? North, south, or west? So now I am going... I'm not going south, that's back where I came from. West, I've done that bit, have I not? Because that's over here, isn't it? So west, where is 11? There's 11, yeah. So that's okay. So that's west there, south or north. 320. Where is 320? There's 320. Okay, so 320. Okay, the path dips slightly downwards and leads into a grassy clearing. This is clearing 29, so I've been there before. And I go to 265. This is the glade where you met the unicorn, but there is nothing here now. Turn to 348. There are 4 exits. Will you go north, south, east, or west? So that is west 204. Let's see, where are we now? 204. Yeah. South 157. East 10. Where's east? Do I have east here? Oh, west 204. Okay. So I've been west. But east 10. There's one missing here from the 348. There's a 10 for going east. Okay, I'll just put that in over here. East. Okay. So, so I've been west, and that's where I get the something else there. That's fine. East. Oh, I think I have gone east before. I just forgot to put the there it is. Okay, so start clearing over there actually. So that is go away. So actually it's just not very clear here that is east. Okay. Okay, so I have been there. So the only way to go then is to go let's see, 348. Sorry, I'm have to reading my messy map now. So I've been everywhere apart from north, it looks like. So I want to go north, and I think this is not just as good a time as any, but an absolutely necessary time to start a new page of map. So 94, there we are, coming from 348. Okay, and that is north. Okay, so 94. This should be new territory for me, finally. The trail dips down and you see swirling mist. The smell is vile and you hold your breath, but before you get out of the mist you are forced to breathe. Lose 2 stamina points from the effect of the swamp fog. Down to 12, that's all I got left now. If you travel to the north, turn to 295. If you're going south, turn to 320. Okay, so 295 north or 320 south. I'm heading north, so I'm going to 295. You find yourself in a small opening on the bank of the Foulbrood River. You're in clearing 33. The opposite bank is at least 200 meters away. You see crocodiles and other creatures in the water. Will you walk east along the riverbank, turn to the south, Or cast an ice spell to freeze the river. This is where the ice spell would have come in handy again, isn't it? Okay, so we've got 183 east or 89 ice. So obviously I've only got one option really if I have to move on now, and that is to go east along the riverbank. So as you walk along, the ground becomes rocky and the path slopes upwards. Just checking the microphone is okay, and the recording is okay. Instead of dismal trees, you see the sky ahead of you. You emerge on top of a high cliff overlooking the murky, foul-brewed river. You are in clearing 20. It is at least 20 meters down to the river, and the cliff is too steep for you to climb down. Below you can see huge crocodiles sunning themselves in the water. Far to the east you can see a bridge which appears to cross the river, but no trail leads along the riverbank in that direction. Two trails leave the clearing. Will you walk south into the swamp, walk west along the river, or dive into the river and swim north? Dive into the river and swim east. Okay. But going south is a possibility. Now, I see there is one more path I haven't seen. So this leads down here, presumably. Down here. Okay, so it's a little bit left over here as well. So there is some bit south here I haven't seen yet. So to be comprehensive now, I really should go south. So I'm going to 66. So that's south. You can go west back where you came from, or let's see. I'll just put a space there, and a space there. So that is dive and swim east. 321 doesn't sound like a very good idea. Because of the crocodiles. Dive and swim north. Okay. But there's no way. I mean, the thing is, I don't have any means of crossing the river apart from swimming. Because I don't have an ice spell. I don't seem to be. But, yeah. But maybe I'll check out the southern pass first, because I still haven't been there. So I'm going to go to 66. You enter a rather pleasant glade surrounded by gnarled oaks. You are in clearing 9. If you've been here before, I haven't. Let's see, I'll just put the before over there, 192B. Leaning against a tree, eating lunch in a picnic basket. Oh, lunch is a small, cheerful man in dark clothes. His food is in a picnic basket. He has no visible weapons except for the knife with which he is cutting his cheese. He notices you standing there and hails you. Good day, fighter. Will you share my meal? As he speaks, you feel the brass ring grow hot, warning you of evil. You realize that the man is the thief. Will you attack him, ignore him, or accept his invitation and sit down? I'll attack him, actually. I know he's evil, so I'm justified. I've got the rules of engagement tell me that if somebody is evil, then I may kill them. So, because I'm a paladin, apparently, according to the guy in the tavern. So, so 3 options. So 2, 6, 7 attack. 17 ignore. 147 accept. I think if I accept, he'll steal something without my noticing or something. So anyway, I'm going to attack 267. You hear a hiss of anger and the thief is upon you. He has only a dagger, but he fights viciously. Oh dear. It's got a very good skill. 10-9. So, and win is 386. Okay. So, my stamina is going to run out soon at this rate. 10-9. I am at 11, 12. So let's see how this goes. So I only got 1 point advantage on my skill. Oh, hang on. I lost skill, didn't I? Forgotten about that. So I've actually got 9 skill. Yes, I completely forgotten about that. Did I actually fight one battle before and I forgot to reduce my skill? Maybe I did. In any case, I'm not going to rewind that because I'm not going to win this anyway now. I'm actually 1 disadvantage on my skill in that case when I start the battle, and let's see how that goes. He rolls a 7, I roll an 8, so that is a draw. He rolls a 9, I roll an 8, so I'm down to 10. He rolls an 8, I roll an 8, so I'm down to 8 hit points. He rolls a 7, I roll a 10, so he's down to 7. He rolls a 7, I roll an 8, that's a draw. He rolls a 4, I roll a 2, I'm down to 6. He rolls a 6, I roll a 10, he's down to 5. I mustn't forget I can use luck now. Maybe I'll use luck to do extra damage to him, so I'm going to do luck now. And I roll a 10, I'm down to 12, he's down to 3. He rolls 7, I roll 11, I'm using luck again. So 11, and that means he is dead. 386. That extra luck does come in handy. There hasn't been that many luck rolls, I mean, for other things so far in this book, so I'm not sure how much we need that for things beside combat. Right. The body of the thief lies at your feet. He was not as clever as he thought he was. You examine his pack. The only thing you find that looks useful is a large red cloak, which you may add to your own possessions if you like. So, now this is a bit unusual because in the Livingston or Steve Jackson UK Steve Jackson book, these sort of cloaks and like the Violet Jewel and the Pendant, you would be asked to wear them usually as you find them, and they might have an effect, but this is you're just picking them up. So red cloak, right, which means either it's quest items depending on whose quest you took in the beginning, or it's useful for something else later, but we don't know yet. So red cloak. Munching a bit of cheese you took from his picnic basket, you continue on your way. Turn to 179. I should have got some stamina from the cheese, shouldn't I? So 170. 179. There are 3 paths leading away from the clearing. The northern one seems to slope downwards. Where do you go north? 183. So north takes me to back where I recently came from. Okay, so that's, oops, sorry, that way. South takes me to 10. So 10 south. East 118. Okay. 118. East. So south 10 is, and we've got 10 here, don't we? Didn't I have 10 here? I remember seeing 10 before. Yes, 10 is over there. So from 179, let's put 179 there. There's a path leading south to 10. So okay. Okay. So I'm going to check out East 118. Still not ready to cross the river with the crocodiles. You can see that ahead of you 2 other paths join yours in a small clearing. You're in clearing 13. I've not been there before. Let's see. So the before one I can put there. 303 B. You feel a prickling sensation around your brass ring. Looking down, you see dozens of small scorpions scuttling towards you. Test your luck. So my luck is now 11. I roll 8 and I'm down to 10. Let's see, test luck. So that's so 70 lucky or 182 unlucky. So I'm lucky and I go to 70. Your reactions are quick. You have time to decide how to deal with the scorpions. Will you stamp on them and strike with your sword, cast a fire spell, or leap over them to safety? I don't have a fire spell again. But I'll just put my options up there. So 216 stamp, 110 fire, or 377 leap. Well, stomping on them still sounds a bit, risky, so I'm going to leap over them to safety. Roll 2 dice. If the total is less than or equal to your stamina, you jump over them. My stamina is currently at 6. Oops. So test stamina. Okay. And I failed. And I lose 3 points of stamina. So test stamina minus 3 stamina in the brackets. My stamina is now 3. That's all the hit points I've got left in the whole world. And I go to 319. Hurriedly, you choose an exit. Will you go north, 138, east, 47, or west, 66? Okay, so I can go west, that's down there. And I can go, let's see, .47, so that's east or 138 north. Okay, so obviously it seems like it's possible to bypass the river in some way. Oh, that was the bridge, wasn't it? Anyway, I will go east. You come upon a small overgrown clearing. You're in clearing 3. You look around, but you see nothing. There are 3 exits. Will you go south, 290, east, 31, or west, 118? So we have 118. It's down there. That's west. I'll have to go. I'll just do 31 up here. 31. That's east. South, 290. I'll probably connect to something down here eventually. So there is some more bits down there I haven't seen yet, presumably then. And yeah, I'll just put that here for now. So south 290, and I'll see if I can find it again when I need it one day. I'm going to keep going east. As you walk along, you sense that you are far to the east of the point where you entered the swamp. You wonder if you have taken the right paths. Suddenly you step into a grassy glade. This is clearing 21. If you've been there before, go to 364. 364 before. There is a crystalline pool in the middle of the clearing with an inviting sandy beach to one side. There are no other paths leading out. Would you leave and go back to the west? So 47. Watch a while for danger. 394. Watch. Or drink from the pool. 77. Drink. Well, I'm going to watch a while for danger. Or should I drink? Should I just drink right away? I'll just drink right away. You feel revitalized. The water in the pool has healing properties. Regain 3 stamina points. You leave and go back to the west. Turn to 47. Okay, so plus 3 stamina. Still hanging on by the skin of my teeth. So clearing 3 again. And I can go west. Southeast or west. So southeast or west. I suppose I want to go back north here, don't I? I'll just check out the southerly direction first as well, because that's a bit I haven't seen yet. So you can see signs that others have walked this way recently. Ahead is another clearing. This is clearing 26. 26. You've been here before. So that is 323 before. As you enter the clearing, an arrow whizzes past your head. You see 3 mangy-looking swamp orcs armed with bows. The other 2 let their arrows fly. If you have the golden magnet charm, turn to 83. I do. So, magnet, question mark. So that's 83. Yes. Or 151. No. Okay. I'm not having a magnet is a good idea when somebody's firing at you, though. Test your luck. Okay, so test luck, and I'm going to need to move over here just to make my map even more interesting and quirky. 35 lucky or 357 unlucky. Okay, my luck is at 10. I'm rolling 9, so I am lucky. And I go to 35. These 2 arrows are also badly aimed, but they curve around and hit your backpack. Only one penetrates, doing little harm. You lose 1 stamina point. So the magnet is a horrible idea, actually, for in this case, as it seems to attract the arrows. So stamina -1. You realize that the golden magnet is cursed and attracts arrows. You are lucky that you put it in your pack instead of wearing it. Will you attack with your sword, use a magic spell, or run for your life? So 3 options. 281 attack. 399 spell. I don't really have much spells. What have I got left now? Oh, I got the restore luck spell. Oh yeah, I can use that soon, can't I? Oh, a run. 309 run. So I suppose I don't really have any options but to run. You have a choice of 3 exits from this clearing. Will you go north, go to 47. Let's see, 40. North, 47. South, 53. And this really should have been on the page below, I think. 53 south. Or west, 388, which is not where I came from now. Let's see, I went Let's see, I went south to get here, so 47. Oh, hang on. Yes, 47. 47 is where I came from, so that is back there. So 53 is south and 388 is west. So 388 west. I'm going to go further south, maybe 53. Yeah, let's try that. I feel like I'm walking in circles now. As you follow the path southward, you hear the croaking of thousands of frogs, tiny ones, huge ones, and all sizes in between. The path leads into a clearing dotted with little pools. This is clearing 8. If you have already been here, turn to 329. If you have not been here before, keep reading. At first, all you see is a number of huge mushrooms, and you realize that there is a man sitting on one of them. He is very short but stout, with snapping black eyes and a wide mouth. Around his neck there hangs a silver amulet in the shape of a frog, and sitting on the ground on either side of him are 2 huge green bullfrogs. So, Master of Frogs. Let's see, frogs. I am the Master of Frogs, he greets you. What brings you to my home? If you greet him in return, turn to 13. If you attack him, turn to 62. Excuse me. So we got 13, greet, or 62, attack. Well, he seems like a friendly fellow, and my ring hasn't said anything, so I'm going to greet him in return. I am a fighter on a quest, you reply. Your ring is not warning you of evil, so you feel safe speaking to the Master of Frogs. Are you in the service of Senator, Grimslade, or Poomchucker? So we have 212, 287, or 376. Senator, Grimslade, Poomchucker. Senator, so that's 212. He's my taskmaster. You tell the Master of Frogs about the plant for which you are searching. Ah, yes, he says. I did not know there were any of those plants left. They are no good to me, though, for I am neutral, and only good wizards can use the plant. Why should I help you? Will you threaten him with your sword, cast a spell on him, or offer him a bribe? So we have 62 threaten, 258 spell, of course I don't have any useful ones like friendship now. 15 bribe. I'll try a bribe, see if that helps. What bribe will you offer him? A golden magnet, an amulet belonging to one of the other masters, a huge violet jewel, or none of these? So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 options. So 63 magnet, 198 amulet, 276 jewel. Now the golden magnet, I don't really want it anymore, so would it be useful to him though? An amulet belonging to one of the other masters, a violet jewel. I'm going to offer him an amulet belonging to one of the other masters. Will he be? I mean, are they fighting for territory in is a kind of sort of gang war in here, is it? Or are they sort of living in some kind of understanding that means they just keep away from each other and they got their own things going? Because if I show him an amulet, it sort of shows that he can take the other guy's territory, but I'm going to try to give him an amulet belonging to one of the other masters, see if he's interested. Oh, yes. Help, he croaks. A wizard slayer. His face contorts with fear. Okay, so that's not the right thing to do. His face contorts with fear and he bounds 10 feet straight backwards. Kill him, he says, pointing his finger at you. His frogs croak loudly and hop towards you. You must fight them. Turn to 146. Okay, so you do not show a wizard that you killed another wizard. Okay, 146. There are two huge frogs. They attack you at the same time. To your surprise, you see that their mouths are filled with tiny, sharp teeth. So both at the same time. So we have, I've got 5 stamina left. And they are 5, 6, and 6, 5. I'm at 9, 5. So both at the same time. So that means I basically like roll them like 2 separate battles, except one of those battles I can only parry, the other one I can injure. So I'm starting with, I'm going to go for the first one, attack him first. So 4 skill point advantage to me. He rolls a 7, I roll a 10, so I'm hitting him. Second one, 3 skill point advantage. He rolls a 6, I roll a 6, so that's fine, nothing happens. Second round, he rolls a 7, I roll a 10, he's down to 2. Second one rolls 10, I roll a 12, and no injury to anyone. Third round, he rolls a 9, I roll a 10, so he is dead. Second frog rolls a 7, I roll a 7, no injury. Now I can also injure the second one. Next round, he rolls 9, I roll 9, he's down to 3. He rolls 6, I roll 5, he's down to 1. And finally he rolls 8 and I roll 7 and he is dead. Oof, still living on borrowed time, I feel here. With my 5 stamina left. So I win and I go to, so let's see, 5, 6 and 6, 5. Same time. And I win and I go to 230. You have slain the giant frogs, but the master is nowhere in sight. He must have hopped off into the swamp. Fastidiously, you wash the blood and slime off your blade before you search the clearing, expecting him to appear and attack you from behind. You find nothing. Turn to 352. 352. The only exit from the clearing is the path you took to get there. Travel north towards the place where a short time ago you fought the swamp orcs. Grasp your sword in case you have to fight again. Turn to 323. So, that takes me back to this place over here. You are in the clearing where you met the swamp orcs. If you slew them, turn to 309. If you did not slay them, turn to 281. You charge the swamp orcs. They are surprised at your bravery, but they drop their bows and grasp their own weapons. You're fortunate that they are not skilled fighters, because they all attack you at once. All 3. Oh. Okay. That's not good. Okay, so skill 6, 7, 7, 7, 6, 5. Okay, so I want to attack the bottom one first there, I think. Let's put mine up there as well. 9, 5. And I will need to use luck for this one, probably. Okay, so I want to start with the one who's got 5 stamina. And the other ones I'm just trying to parry against. So, okay, so I'm starting with... So, yeah, let's do them in order actually from the top to bottom here. So, Actually, just do them in the order I'm going to fight them now. So 6-5, I'm going to fight the 6-5 first. Then the 6-7, and then the 7-7 last. Okay. So, he rolls a 6, I roll a 9, so he is down to 3. Next one rolls 5, I roll 5, so no injury there. Next one rolls 9, I roll 5, so he hits me for 2 points. Down to 3. Okay. Maybe I should... Oh, I could have used the lock... Oh, never mind. I could have used the lock spell before starting the fight, but it's too late now. Okay, first one again, he rolls a 7, I roll a 4. So that is me hitting him. It's down to 1. Second one rolls a 7, I roll 11, that's fine. Then it's 7 and 6, so that is also fine, nothing happens there. First one again, he rolls a 9, I roll 5. So I'm getting injured and I got 1 hit point left. Whoops. Yeah. Next one rolls 10, I roll 10, that's fine. Next one rolls 8 and I roll 4, which means I am dead. Yeah, I really should have, even if I'd used luck, actually I might have struggled a bit there. Right, so 3 all at once. That is pretty hard. Let's see, where are we? 281. I didn't check my... So I went back to 323. Let's see. Just to make sure my map is okay now. So that's 280, 281, and 6, 7, 7, 7, 6, 5. Same time. Okay. Well, that was quite an adventure, I must say. I quite like how you can sort of go in different directions in this one. You don't just have to follow one path. It's very non-linear, which is quite a different way. And the map is looking quite nice and neat and tidy and easy to read, which is great for next time. And I can sort of, I think I need to not wait too long before I play again, because it'll get very confusing if I do. See how that goes next time. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching that, and thanks for watching this, and thanks for taking the time to, and hopefully you enjoyed it. And I'll see you next time with more fighting fantasy fun as I play a Scorpion Swamp again for the 3rd time, and hopefully it'll go better this time. It seems like a tricky one, this. There's plenty of... But the thing is, I don't know how much of these... I mean, so many of these encounters, you may actually be fine avoiding them. So it's certainly... I don't know what kind of stuff you need here, of the items you pick up yet. So it might be possible to go a sort of a path to the west and go north and just sort of bypass a lot of the nasty stuff, and maybe you'll be fine. I don't know yet. It's going to take a while to find this out, I think, in this one. But it certainly looks like fighting is going to be quite a bit of it, and you don't have that many spells. So, because at the moment, I think I've been asked for Fire Spell. Possibly it could have been useful sort of 3 or 4 times. Friendship Spell could have been useful once or twice. Blessing was useful once. Growth Spell, I still haven't found a place where that's beneficial. Ice, I know there's one place where that is useful if you're taking the path on in the west. Yeah, so it's it'll be interesting to try this again and see how it goes. So thanks for watching, and goodbye for now.